Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Root Yoga Therapy. I'm your certified yoga therapist, Jasmine Leventhal, and today we are kicking off our Rebuild and Recharge series. Today's practice is going to be all about kind of improving back strength and mobility, and then towards the end of the practice we're going to get into some nice juicy stretches and really just kind of enjoy the work that we put in. So hop into something comfy and join me on your mat. Okay, welcome back. So like I said, we're going to get started in working some of the muscles in our back, waking up the back of the body, getting some flexibility and strength back in. I know that for me, I feel like I go in and out of back pain, so I know that this is going to be a feel good for me. We're going to start in, you know what, we're going to start in a supine position. I was going to say seated, but I'm changing my mind on the fly. So go ahead and grab your props. If you've been practicing with me for a while, you should have 2 blocks. If you don't, find something similar, maybe some books. And we're going to start this pretty supported. So place 1 block. This is going to go on your mid back, just kind of in between the shoulder blades on this first level here. And this, I like to start it pretty high, just because you never know how tight your back might be. Once you get down and you feel you have more space, you can kind of adjust the blocks as needed. So you're going to carefully lay down here. And then, so this bottom block is going to be in between the shoulder blades. This top block is going to be supporting your head. So for me, that feels a little too mild. So I'm actually going to adjust the block and take it 1 height lower, giving myself a little bit more of a back bend. And you can see how just adjusting that block that supports the head will already create more space across the chest, deepen the back bend. And then feet can be moving forward, legs straight. If this is too much on your lower back, keep your legs bent or place something underneath your knees, like a pillow, and just to give a little support and take some pressure off. And once you're here, just allowing the shoulders to kind of melt down and the chest to start to open, keeping your neck in neutral, chin pointing up, finding your breaths in and out through the nose. And just feeling the body rise and fall, expand and contract with each passing breath. And see where you can melt just your shoulders, your head, your hips, everything kind of downward. Good. On your next inhale, reach your arms up and back behind you. This is going to deepen the back bend. So just be mindful of how far you want your hands to go behind you. If the backs of the hands touch the mat or the ground behind you, something to notice. Maybe you have a lot more space today. If it feels really hard, if it's tight, if it hurts, back off. Take 1 more inhale here. Exhale, releasing your hands down by your side. We'll just do 2 more rounds like that. And maybe each time, if your hands, back of the hands did not touch the mat behind you, you can work a little bit deeper. Inhaling, taking the arms up and back. Exhale, releasing the hands down by your side. And 1 more inhale. Exhale. Very nice. And gently roll to one side, slowly coming off the blocks. Good. And we're going to take our blocks over and off the mat, and then come into a hands and knees position. Going to work some mobility in cat-cow pose. So hands under shoulders, knees are under hips. As you inhale, release your chest and belly towards the mat and arching your back, keeping your gaze forward and down. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, lengthening out. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Coming into that arched back. Exhale, round. Good. Take an inhale here. Extend your right leg back behind you, floating the toes off the mat. As you exhale, knee to chest, round your spine. Anytime we work our back, we also want to work our core. So inhale, extending the leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Good. Inhale, re-extend and release the knee down. Inhale, left leg reaches back. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, release the knee down. Curl the toes, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back behind you and find a nice stretch. Good. For a few moments, kind of bending one knee and then the other. We call it walking your dog. Getting some movement and mobility into the backs of the legs and calves. And then bending both knees, take the tailbone way up towards the sky, and then start to work the legs towards straight, coming into a traditional downward facing dog. And the reason I say we want to work the core as well when we're starting to do stuff with our back is because the core muscles, the deep core muscles, support the front of the spine. So it's really nice to balance out any kind of work that we're doing with our back by also giving some love and attention and strength to our core. As you inhale, glide your body forward, coming into a plank position. Draw the navel in towards the spine. If this is too much, always know that you can modify by coming to plank on the knees. But remember, this is going to be a more challenging first half of the practice. So if you can work this position, please try. Lengthening the chest forward, tailbone towards the heels, breathing here. Taking one more inhale. And as you exhale, you can drop the knees down as you lower the body or lower from plank, bending the elbows and lowering all the way down to your mat. Untuck the toes. So slide your hands down towards kind of your rib cage, pointing the toes back behind you, tops of the feet pressing. Inhale, little cobra pose, lifting the chest off the mat. Exhale, release. And two more, inhale. Exhale, and last one. Inhale, exhale. Good. Option to go and just push back into downward facing dog, or you can push up through plank position and downward facing dog. Good. Take a full deep breath. Extend your right leg up and back behind you. As you exhale, glide forward, knee to chest. Good. Inhale, send the right leg up and back. Exhale, knee to chest, gliding forward. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to chest, gaze forward, step forward, pause here. Kind of separate your feet, so widen your stance a bit so you're more on a parallel track like train tracks versus a tightrope. Lengthen your body forward, swoop your arms back behind you, and hold here. Tuck your right hip back and in. And then as you inhale, reach your arms forward. Exhale, release them back. Inhale, take them forward. And then all the way up, crescent pose, maybe a mild bend in your back knee. Full breath in. Exhale, hands to the mat. Pause here. You're going to lean the body forward, placing a lot more weight into that right foot. Hop up. Left knee pulls into chest and release the left foot down. Inhale, lengthen your body forward, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Good. Inhale, root down, rise up, reach up. Maybe a little back bend here, leaning the body backwards, chest skyward. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold it forward. Keep drawing the navel in so you have a lot of control through your core. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank pose. Pause here, hold plank. Draw that navel in. And then you're welcome to lower down by dropping the knees, chest, and chin, or bending the elbows and coming all the way down. Untuck the toes, take an inhale. Find that cobra pose. Exhale, release. Now it's very little weight in the hands. Inhale, cobra pose. You should be able to hover your hands off the mat. In fact, go ahead and do that. Keep the chest lifted. Hover the hands. Press into the tops of the feet. Exhale, release. Try that one more time. Elbows hug in, chest lifts. Stay lifted. Hover the hands. Notice how much your back is working. Keep drawing the navel away from the mat to support your lower spine. And exhale, release. Inhale, tuck the toes, either scooching all the way back into downward dog or pressing up from plank. I'm just doing the modification for show. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up and back. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to chest. Really try and challenge yourself for this first half of the practice. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to chest, gaze forward, step forward, pause here. Widen your stance a bit so you have a little more balance. And then scoop that left hip in, sweep the arms back, pause. On the next inhale, reach the arms forward. Exhale, take them back. Inhale, forward, pause, all the way up, crescent pose, mild bend in the back knee just to help release this lower back. Sometimes if we're tight and we straighten that back leg, we get an excessive arch here. So dropping that helps kind of pull the pelvis into a more neutral position, creating a little more length. And then as you exhale, release the hands down. Place weight into that left foot. Lift the back leg off the mat. Exhale, right knee moves towards chest. And lower the right foot down. Inhale, lengthen the body forward, half lift. Exhale, fold in. Root down, rise up, reach up. Big inhale, maybe taking that big lean. And hands to heart. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, heart lengthens forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank pose. Pause here, navel hugs in, breathe. And bending the elbows, lowering all the way down to the mat. Good, pausing here, reach back, interlace the fingertips, or the fingers, and drive the fingertips all the way down towards your tailbone, lift your chest. Exhale, release. Switch the grip, so one finger over from what you just did, interlacing the hands, drive the knuckles, fingers down towards the tailbone, lift the chest. Exhale, release. Good, plant your hands down by your ribs, take an inhale, lift, and pause. Keep the chest lifted, float the feet off the mat. So it's not lifting the legs up, it's stretching them back. Feeling the toes stretch so far back that they start to hover off your mat. Breathing here and release. Curl the toes, either press through tabletop to down dog or through plank, downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale, open mouth. Walk your hands back to your feet, folding at the back of your mat. Good, taking a few breaths here. And keep a nice softness around the knees so you're not straining in your back, but this should feel really good. Good, one more inhale, lengthen the body forward. Exhale, refold. And drop the hips, bend the knees, chair pose, reach the arms forward and up. Taking a full breath in. Exhale, sweep the arms back. Inhale, reach the arms forward. Exhale, sweep them back. And one more. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Once again, interlace the fingers behind you. Press down through the feet. Rise to a stand. Lean back. Draw the knuckles down towards the heels. Lift the heart. And exhale, keep the hands interlaced as you fold forward, bending at the knees. Just a slight bend, so we're not creating too much tension in our hamstrings. We're not straining into our lower back. If the knuckles need to stay here because you can't get them over, it just depends on your shoulder mobility, just keep the knuckles here. There's no need to push yourself into a place of pain or severe discomfort. That's not what we're looking for. One more inhale. As you exhale, release your hands down. Walk all the way out to a plank position and pause. As you take your next inhale, see if you can draw your chest towards the top of your mat. Scoop your tailbone, draw your navel in. Exhale all the way down to the mat. Good, pausing here. Keeping your left hand down, left toes down. Bend your right knee, sweep back. See if you can catch your right foot. If you cannot catch your right foot, go ahead and grab like a strap, or I like to use the rope or the tie from like a robe. That's a good tool. And you can use that by having that wrapped around your foot and then holding it to help bridge the gap there. And then pressing your right foot into your hands or into the rope or strap and finding that space across the chest. And then maybe starting to take those right toes slightly skyward. So the right thigh is coming off the mat. Navel is drawing in. And lower it all down. Release what you have. Rest your head to one side. And then opposite leg. So bending into your left leg, sweep it back. Right hand's gonna help stabilize you by placing it down by your ribs. Either catch your foot, use a strap, press the foot into the hands. Good, see that left side of your chest lifting, opening. Keep drawing the navel in and then slowly taking those left toes skyward. And you just want that left thigh maybe hovering 1/2 inch off the mat. Doesn't have to be a massive lift, but enough to get that stretch through the top of the left thigh and then also to create that back bend. And slowly lower it down, release, rest your head to the opposite side. Bend both knees and just kind of windshield wiper the legs. That's really helpful to release any tension that may have been caused into the lower back. And just a reminder that when you're doing back bends, you really want to focus the bend to the middle of and upper back. So that's why you really need to draw the navel in to help support the lower spine as you look for more mobility in your thoracic spine, which is your middle to upper back. And release the feet down. Good. Hands are going to come towards your ribs. Push through, come into that tabletop position, and all the way into child's pose. Nice stretch. And as you're breathing here, be mindful to breathe into the back of the body, expanding through your back ribs, filling up the lungs. And just like our lungs are anatomically bigger in our backs, so imagine that entire space being filled up with breath and space and energy. On your next inhale, begin to shift forward. And we're going to come onto our backs. So coming all the way onto your back, lowering down. And then feet are going to be hips distance apart. I want you to be able to kind of graze the backs of your heels with your fingertips. Guide your tailbone down. This is a subtle movement, but it's really helpful. And it'll help you engage your abdominal muscles as well. Moving into a bridge pose, pressing down through our feet. Feet are hips distance apart. And then coming up, lifting your hips off the mat, pressing your shoulder blades or the backs of your shoulders down. keeping your head nice and neutral and finding a lot of space here. Good, full breath in. Exhale, release the body down. Good. We'll take 2 more. The second one, we're gonna move our arms. So pressing down into your feet, lift the hips, take the arms up and back like we did when we were on the blocks. More of a dynamic bridge. And exhale, come down. Good. You can do one more with the arms or without the arms for the last one. Inhale, pressing into classic bridge, dynamic bridge, which is reaching the arms up and back. Or I'll actually give you a third option. You can follow and take that interlace of the hands and kind of shimmy the backs of the shoulders a little deeper and use that as leverage to get a little more space. So this is going to be the most intense option, but take whatever's working for you today. Always leave the rest. One more in-breath, and as you exhale, release the body down. Releasing the hands, the arms, and then next breath, hug both knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze and maybe a little rock side to side. So moving into our recharge and restore portion of the practice, finding some nice deep stretches. We'll be holding stretches a little longer. So just for time's sake, we may not be doing as many movements, but we'll be really savoring where we are in each pose. So as you exhale, extend your left leg straight down. Keep your right knee hugging in. Interlace the hands behind your thigh and start to extend your right foot skyward. We're going to pause here on a hamstring stretch. Now you're welcome to just roll the ankle a few times, counterclockwise and clockwise if that feels good. And then once you've kind of got all those little movements out, pause, roll your toes down towards your face, press your heels skyward, keeping this nice and active. And we'll take some nice deep breaths here. Last inhale. As you exhale, rebend into your right knee. Give it a nice squeeze. Lower it down, switch. Left knee hugs into the chest. Take your left foot skyward. Any little movements or fidgeting that you wanted to get out, pointing and flexing the foot, rolling the ankle, whatever you'd like to do that feels good for you here, please do that now. And then pausing. Flex the foot, so heel presses skyward, toes roll towards the face, breathing here. And as we breathe, if you want to get deeper in the pose, you'll just continue to pull the leg towards your chest. Continue to find a straightening of the leg if it's not already straight, and that's just worked by energetically pressing through the heel of the foot. Focusing the breath through the back of the leg for one more inhale and exhale. And then gently bend into your left knee and release the foot down. Keep the left knee bent. You're going to cross right ankle over left knee, making a figure 4, going into our hips here, bringing the left foot towards you or the left knee towards you, keeping the right foot flexed, and then grabbing either on top of that left knee or underneath the left thigh. So if you're grabbing on top of the knee or the shin, that's going to be the most intense variation of this pose. And then guiding that right knee away from the body. So sometimes I like to place my hand on top of my right thigh and gently push the knee away. That can feel really good. And breathing here. One more inhale. As you exhale, release and switch. Right foot on the mat, left ankle crosses over, figure 4 stretch, taking any variation you did on the other side, try to match it. I already can feel that I'm much tighter on this side. So we always want to kind of observe our bodies and notice where we're in discomfort because we're tight and we're stretching, or whether we're in pain. And only you can determine that, because only you can feel where you are in your body. We never want to push into a point of pain. We do want to push a little bit to a place where we might not be super comfortable, so we can actually open create space around those muscles, gain more mobility in our joints, release any tension which might be causing us not to strengthen those muscles. If our muscles are really tense, it can be very hard to actually strengthen them when they're in that tight position. It's pretty much impossible. And take one more breath here. As you exhale, release. Good. Hugging both knees into the chest. Grab the outer ankles, outer feet. Maybe you're hooking the big toes, coming into a happy baby pose. And whatever you're doing, just be mindful of where you are and making sure that you're in something that's both challenging, but also where you can really restore your body. And you're also able to let go. It's kind of like a sweet spot. One more breath. Slowly release what you have, bring the knees together, and then take a double knee twist. Option to keep the knees just together or cross the legs. Scoot the hips off to the right, drop the knees to the left. Opening your right arm out to the right. And think about length from the base of your hip to the tip of your shoulder. Last breath here. And slowly release, bringing your body back through center. If you cross the legs, switch the cross of the legs. So left leg will go over right. Scoot the hips slightly to the left as you release the knees to the right. One more inhale. As you exhale, slowly come back to center, uncross the legs if that's what you did. Give yourself one more big squeeze, lifting the head, bringing the head towards the knees. One big inhale. As you exhale, lengthen the legs forward, releasing the head down, finding your resting pose. And see if you can kind of drop your shoulders, let the knees flop, let the legs flop, feet flop. You're welcome to stay in this Shavasana meditation for as long as you like. If you're ready to close off the practice with me, very carefully roll to one side, using an opposite arm to help you come to a seat. Find a nice cross-legged position. Take a full breath in, reach your arms out wide and overhead. Nice big stretch, palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining in this practice with me. I hope you feel not only invigorated and more mobile, but also energized, restored. Hope to see you next time. Namaste.